Welcome to the Benzano Podcast. We're calling a spade a spade. Folks, what on earth did we just get done watching? What on earth did we just get done watching? That might have been the ugliest basketball game that I have seen the Indiana Fever play so far this season. That was absolutely atrocious. Of course, those 1-8 games were bad, of course. But newsflash, we didn't have any expectations back then. We just wanted to see the team start gelling. We just wanted to see team chemistry. We just wanted to see Caitlyn Clark get her bearings under her. Now, as the team plays better, expectations begin to rise. And if we continue to keep our expectations low with a team that is playing above those low expectations, it is time to readjust our expectations, the word of the day, can you tell, of this Indiana Fever basketball team. Going into the break, coming out of the break, we saw how well this team can perform when they're running fast pace, when certain players aren't in the rotation. But after starting 7-1, 8-2 since the Olympic break, all of those games with Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell carrying the Indiana Fever clearly started going to their head. There are not any positives I can take out of how the Indiana Fever performed today. From the players, maybe Kelsey Mitchell. From the coaching staff, from the bench, there are no positives we can take away from this game. The refs have been bad all season. Get over it. At some point, the team needs to step up and play up to their competition, or play as good as we know they are capable of playing. We go up against a fully loaded Minnesota Lynx team, no injuries. We lose both games. We go up against a fully loaded Las Vegas Aces team. Can't even say they're fully loaded because A'ja Wilson's injured, and we lose. You think if we play how we played tonight, we're going to somehow make our shots on Friday? No. Doesn't work like that. If we continue to lollygag, if we continue to think to ourselves, oh, we got in the playoffs, job's done, there's nothing else for us to do here, let's start experimenting and bullshitting out on the floor. Excuse me. What we saw today was absolutely unacceptable on all levels. It was absolutely unacceptable. I'll start with the small records, I guess. I can't even say small positives. I'll start with the record-breaking things that were done today. First things first, Clark and Mitchell, first pair of teammates in WNBA history to each record over 100 three-pointers made. Good job to you guys. Good job. Seriously, well done. Caitlyn Clark put up another game with more than 15 points, 5 or more assists. Nobody else in WNBA history has had more than 10 games of that matter. Caitlyn Clark has had 16 straight games of either 15 points and 5 assists straight. A'ja Wilson, she now has the most games in WNBA history with 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5+ steals and blocks. Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. Clark had 16 and 6. Kelsey Mitchell, 24 points. Aaliyah Boston in foul trouble all night. 6 points, 10 rebounds. Then on the other side, we have the Las Vegas Aces. 27 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks for A'ja Wilson. Alicia Clark, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Chelsea Gray, 11 points, 4 assists. Tiffany Hayes, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Players in the Las Vegas Aces, this was just a bad game to watch, folks. This was just a bad game to watch all the way around. Indiana Fever ended up shooting 39% from the field, 27% from 3, 62% from the free throw line, couldn't buy themselves a bucket. Oh, but they had an off night. I don't care if they had an off night, folks. Find a different way to get going. We don't need to chuck. We don't need to force. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. 62% from the free throw line. What the hell is that? What the hell is 62% from the free throw line? The Indiana Fever end up losing 86-75 to the Las Vegas Aces. Where do we start? Christy Sides. Folks, it was only 3 minutes in the second quarter, but why on earth am I seeing Christy Wallace in this basketball game? If we're calling this playoff basketball, if this is a potential playoff team, why are we playing people who aren't going to see the court during playoff time? Katie Lou Samuelson, why is she in the game still? Katie Lou playing 10 minutes. Why? Why on earth is Katie Lou and Christy Wallace in the game? Better yet, why the hell are they in the game together? If we're not trying to throw this game, why are we having Katie Lou, Christy Wallace, and Nelissa Smith all in the game together? Why? There's no good answer. Never, ever, ever should those three players be in the court again. Folks, it's like I'm having deja vu of the first 9 games of the season. Christy Wallace, Katie Lou, Nelissa Smith, all on the floor together. Why? Makes no sense at all. I'm watching Becky Hammon call timeouts in the first 36 seconds of the game. Christy Sides saw the Las Vegas Aces go on a 30-14 run and have not called a timeout. Christy Sides just stands idly by as the other team gets the lead and holds on to the lead. Meanwhile, 36 seconds into the game, Becky Hammon, timeout. Why is that, Christy? What are you doing? What are you You're not thinking. That's the issue. You need to get it together. Or else, like I continue to say, it's going to be a quick playoff run. If this is how you're going to coach, challenging the wrong calls, not calling timeouts, dipping into your substitution packages, not being in the ref's ear, not containing your superstar. If you're going to continue to do this, let's just pack it up now. Let's just get into the offseason now. Christy Sides, get it together. Nelissa Smith. I don't even know what to say about you, Nelissa. You pass up a wide open midi to get fouled and break your free throws. You don't know how to slide on defense. You don't know how to grab rebounds with 2 hands. You're over there playing patty cake with the basketball. You're the softest player on the team. I've never seen somebody built like you be so afraid to use their weight. Throw your fucking body around, use your weight, clang and bang, and make yourself useful. Learn how to make a free throw. Learn how to make a layup. Learn how to use your left hand. Learn how to dribble. Learn how to play basketball. I am tired of seeing you in the rotation. But we can only play the players that we have. So can we put you on the bench, please? That goes back to Christy. Christy, can we put Nelissa Smith on the bench, please? Why is she playing the entire third quarter? Questions I am dying to know the answer to. And I'm sure you will throw everyone under the bus come the post-game interview. Nelissa Smith, get it together. Christy Wallace. Folks, Christy Wallace only played 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, she airballed the 3 and threw the ball out of bounds. Excuse me, she airballed a 3, overpassed the ball to Lexi Hull going out of bounds, which wasn't a turnover on her, but instead Lexi Hull's turnover is her grabbing a rebound, trying to dribble out, and stepping on the baseline. Therefore, she was out of bounds. Why do I go 15 straight games maybe without seeing Christy Wallace to now seeing Christy Wallace in the second quarter? That goes back to our glorious leader, Christy Sides. What are you doing out there? Why are you putting her in the game? At that point, we might as well get Grace Berger in the game and see what Grace has, because we've seen enough of Christy Wallace, and her addition to the team is 0 value. So what are you doing, Christy Sides? I need to know. Kelsey Mitchell, the only one on this team that wanted to play today. Kelsey Mitchell got banged up and down the court. She was gimpy. She was limping. She got hit in the face. She got poked in the eye. She got kneed in the crotch. Yet Kelsey Mitchell seemed like she was actually trying to will this team to a victory. Kelsey, I appreciate it. If only everybody else had the same attitude. If only everybody else understood that a win against the Aces would be a huge confidence booster heading into the playoffs. Instead, we've gone 3 straight games, Lynx, Aces, and we've lost them all. Great job, Indiana Fever. And that goes back to Christy Sides. Why haven't we ran anything for Kelsey Mitchell? If nobody else seems to be on, if nobody else seems to be able to hit a shot, if Aaliyah Boston's in foul trouble, how come every play isn't getting ran for Kelsey Mitchell? Why is that? Why aren't an overwhelming amount of plays ran for Kelsey Mitchell? Instead, she's getting the ball with shot clock running down and needs to make something happen. Christy Sides. Can you be a coach? It's really bad. Caitlyn Clark. I feel like I've gone the entire season without saying anything too negative about Caitlyn Clark. 1 for 10 from 3. 6 for 22 from the field. I know we don't want to tell our shooters to stop shooting, but at some point we need to stop shooting. At some point we need to realize maybe my three's not falling today. Let me try to get some easier ones, and then I'll go back to the three-point shot. Let me try to get some gimmies, and then I'll go back to the three-point shot. Let me try to get on the foul line more, and then I'll go back to the three-point shot. Folks, I was watching this game, and I didn't have thoughts when she shot the ball that's going in. Almost as soon as it left her hand, you can tell. Short, off, to the left, to the right. Turnovers. Not good turnovers today. We throw it to Aaliyah Boston, who's not even ready for the ball. Turnover. We're lazy with our dribble. The other team steals it. Turnover. Not the best game from Caitlyn Clark today. Not the best game from Caitlyn Clark today. And that goes back to Christy. How about you tell Aaliyah Boston to set a big body screen so Caitlyn Clark can get open? How about you keep Katie Lou on the bench and give those minutes to Dantis so we can spread the floor? Better yet, how about you keep Katie Lou and Nelissa Smith on the bench so we can spread the floor and run a better offense? Or are we going to sit idly by while Caitlyn Clark shoots 3 after 3 after 3 after 3? Brick after brick after brick. She missed 9 straight threes, folks. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get into this game, shall we? Appreciate everybody who stopped by the venue. About 250 people live in the venue. Salute to everybody. Salute to the chat. I appreciate all the support, all the donations, all the memberships, the VIPs, the MVPs, all of you guys. Appreciate everybody who came out, showed love, and watched this atrocious basketball game that we saw today. Folks, this was an ugly game. There's no other way to call it. This was an ugly game. We come out in the first quarter. Quick play to Kelsey Mitchell, layup, followed by a Lexi Hull 3. 5-0, Fever are up. Becky Hammond calls a timeout. That's what a good coach does. Off the rip. Oh, they're not trying hard on defense. Timeout. What are we doing out there, guys? Asia, what are you doing? Kelsey, Chelsea, Jackie, Alicia, Tiffany. What are we doing out there? Get it together. I didn't come all the way to Indiana to lose. So straighten it up. Ends up being a 7-0 Fever run. Lexi Hull, Asia Wilson get tied up for a jump ball. Seemed like Asia Wilson threw an elbow to me. I don't know if you guys caught that. Lexi Hull's pretty tough. That's one tough SOB. Lexi Hull played well tonight. I'm sorry I don't have a picture of Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull played well tonight. She did what she needed to do. She played hard-nosed defense. She made her layups for the most part. She made the first 3 that she made of the game. We always like seeing the first 3 Lexi Hull makes during the game. But it was bad. It was just a bad game, folks. It was just a bad game. Caitlyn Clark drives into the lane. Quick pass out to Nelissa Smith for a wide open midi. And what does Nelissa Smith do? She passes it up. Garbage. Nelissa Smith, you suck. She drives and she bricks it. Garbage. Nelissa Smith, you suck. Las Vegas Aces respond on a 6-0 run. Caitlyn Clark chucks up a bad logo 3. Miss. Caitlyn Clark ends up getting subbed out with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first. Why? Some people are saying that she asked to get subbed out, to get a breather. Some people speculated that her contacts were interrupting her. She needed a breather. Whatever the case may be, Christy, why are we subbing Caitlyn Clark out with 4 minutes left? Lexi Hull gets 2 bad foul calls on Lexi Hull. One, going straight up. The other, perfect defense. Foul calls on Lexi Hull. It is what it is. Again, we're used to the referees calling bad games, so we should not be surprised when the referees have a whistle in one direction. We can't use that as the excuse every single time. We can't use bad matchups as the excuse every single time. Oh, the Aces are just a bad matchup for us. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Was every matchup good for the Lakers during the three-peat? No. Was every matchup good for the Warriors during the three-peat? No. Was every matchup good? They didn't three-peat. They lost the third time. Was every matchup good for the Warriors? No. Not every matchup is going to be in your favor, folks. It is what it is. You need to adjust. And that brings us back to the worst coach on the fly in the history of coaching. Worse than middle school coaches, rec coaches, high school coaches, NAIA coaches, you name it. Christy Sides can't do it. Wheeler checks in the game. Shout out to you, Eric Wheeler. You played well. You got a couple nice buckets in the first quarter. But the Las Vegas Aces respond after being down 7-0 with a 20-11 run. We go into the second quarter, 20-18. We go into the second quarter, 20-18. Las Vegas Aces are up. Las Vegas Aces win the second quarter, 21-14. Caitlyn Clark had a bad turnover, forcing it into traffic. Why? I don't know. Ben, you got to take the good with the bad. I get it. Do I need to be okay with it? Do I need to be okay with a bad turnover because we need to take the good with the bad? No, I don't be. I don't need to be okay with it. I can say that was a bad turnover. We're forcing it into triple teams. Las Vegas Aces start the second quarter with a 10-3 run. No timeout from Christy Sides. They continue the second quarter with a 30-14 run, picking up from the first quarter. Still, no timeout from Christy Sides. Christy Sides didn't call a timeout the entire second quarter. Christy Sides, you suck. Katie Lou Samuelson and Christy Wallace get checked into the game in the second quarter, and folks, my head exploded. My head exploded. First play, Christy Wallace gets a loose ball, ignores CC, dribbles the ball up the court, pulls it back out into a jump ball. We get the jump ball, then Christy Wallace shoots an air ball during that same quote-unquote possession. Next possession, Christy Wallace shoots an steps out of bounds. So 3 minutes of Christy Wallace, we get an air ball, we get an ignore CC, and we step out of bounds. Great job, Christy Wallace. You suck. At some point in the second quarter, we have Christy Wallace, Katie Lou Samuelson, and Nelissa Smith all on the court together. Why is that, Christy? How is that? In what world is that okay? Never should that ever happen. 2 minutes left in the second quarter. The Las Vegas Aces bench is outscoring the Indiana Fever bench 17-5. We go into halftime down 41-32. 41-32. This team scores 32 points and a half. How? How is that possible? How is that even a thing with Caitlyn Clark, Christy Wallace, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hall, Techme Effect Bentley on the team? I don't even think I saw that lineup today. We might have maybe for a spurt here or there, but I don't feel like I saw that five at all. But Ben, they were in foul trouble. Oh well. 32 points in the first half. It's pathetic. What I tell you, folks, she won that Coach of the Month, and the team has looked worse ever since. She won Coach of the Month, and the team has looked worse ever since. Paint touches, paint touches, paint touches. Together, together, together. Again, if this is how the team is going to be coached going into the playoffs, let's mail it in now. Let's pack our bags and mail it in. Now, some people think Christy's over here experimenting with lineups. Folks, Christy experimenting is like Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab sneaking into his laboratory and screwing up his whole science project. And Dexter's furious. Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull were playing out of their mind coming out of the Olympic break, and we were fooled to think Christy Sides was Stefan when realistically she's been Steve Urkel this whole entire time. Pathetic, Christy Sides. You suck, by the way. First play of the game, we got a Lexi Hull, first play of the second half. Lexi Hull steal, passes it to Techme Effect Bentley, who turns the ball over, forcing it into Nelissa Smith for a post-up. Why do we have Nelissa Smith on a post-up? Because Christy Sides is saying, post Nelissa Smith up. Nelissa has no post moves. But still, Christy Sides is saying, post Nelissa Smith up. We come back the next play. We get the patented Caitlyn Clark to Aaliyah Boston on the high screen with Kelsey Mitchell cutting back door. First time I've seen that play all game. Remember, we came out of the break. We ran that play to start the game 3 consecutive games. And now we just sporadically throw it in there. Excuse me, we ran it consecutively games, and we ran it to completion. It ended up being a bucket every single time. We went away from that. Why? I need you guys to tell me why. I need you guys to tell me why. We were down 12. We fight all the way back to a 4-point game. And guess what Becky Hammon does? Calls a timeout. Wow. Christy, do you know what a timeout is? No? Okay. Forget it. Forget I even asked. Right after the timeout, we have a Nelissa Smith post up. And she can't catch the ball. Shocker. Turnover. Why are we posting Nelissa Smith up? I don't know. We get Nelissa Smith on the free throw line, missing her free throws. Shocking. I'm so shocked. We played our starting lineup the entire third quarter. No Temmie in the third quarter. No Wheeler. No Dantis. We have Nelissa Smith play the entire third quarter, folks. Why? Why? Are we trying to win? Or are we trying to experiment? Because we feel good that we got carried for a few games after break. I'm trying to win the playoffs. I don't know about you folks. I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to be an easy out. The way we've looked the last few games, Fever are an easy out. It is what it is. And again, ever since Christy Sides won Player Coach of the Month, we've looked like trash. Also in the third, Becky Hammon gets teed up, going to bat for her team. Chelsea Gray, I believe, gets called for an offensive foul, initiating contact to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston gets called for a foul. Las Vegas Aces are trying to inbound the ball, doesn't get inbounded fast enough. Becky Hammon loses her mind. She screams, she rants, she raves, she drops F-bombs, she gets teed up. Chrissy, do you care? Do you care like that? Do you want to see your team win? Do you want to see your team get the benefit of the doubt? Do you want your players to know that you'll go to bat and fight for them? Or are you going to continue to look like that on the sideline as the other team continues to keep us at arm's length? No, you're going to continue to let the other team keep us at arm's length? Fine. Fourth quarter. It's nothing to say. Indiana Fever score 18 in the fourth quarter. Bench scores 5 points. It's just a bad game, folks. Just a bad game all the way around. Don't know how to put it nicely. Don't know how to sound cheerful and upbeat. This game sucked to watch. It is what it is. I guess every game can't be ultra entertaining, right? I guess every game we can't run the pace up, right? We can't push the tempo every game, right? We have to poop the bed every now and then, huh? Something needs to change. I'm tired of hearing paint touches. I'm tired of hearing together. I need to see an up-tempo offense. I need to see this Indiana Fever team running. I don't care if the Aces were WNBA champions last year. I don't care. I don't care that the refs aren't giving us the whistle I don't care. We've seen this team beat the Liberty. We've seen this team beat playoff teams. But those playoff teams are now sitting behind us in the standings. We haven't beat the Aces yet. Are we going to win on Friday? I hope so. We haven't beat the Lynx yet. Are you comfortable going into the playoffs seeing the Lynx? Are you comfortable going into the playoffs seeing the Connecticut Sun? Are you comfortable going to the playoffs seeing the New York Liberty? If you are, more power to you. You're way more optimistic than I am. Salute to you. I need some of that positivity juice. But at the end of the day, we will still have the worst coach on the court. That has no idea how to adjust, that has no idea how to argue calls, that has no idea how to show you her team cares. She has no idea. All she knows is together, together, together. Paint touches, paint touches, paint touches. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast where we're calling a spade a spade. I appreciate all of the support. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Folks, in case you guys haven't picked up, when we do these reviews, the first 10 to 15 minutes are the good old fashion-styled rant that you guys were accustomed to in the beginning of the season. But to try to give everybody what they want, after I go on that rant, I've been trying to break the game down for you. I've been trying to review the game for you. Trying to give you the best of both worlds. Shout out to Hannah Montana. I appreciate all the support. I will see you back in the venue on Friday. Take it easy now.